Hi, I'd like to make a series videos to share my experience building databases for cellular therapy labs. So today will be the part one, introduction. Who may watch this video and feel helpful is if you're working in a fact accredited laboratory and using paperwork records. The lab is not big enough to spend lots of money to buy commercial software, or the lab couldn't find the good commercial software. If you have some experience with Excel worksheets, and also the lab leadership has the intention to transform to paperless record system, this may be the video you will benefit from. Myself has been a lab professional for 20 years in cellular therapy lab. Some place also called bone marrow transplant laboratories. I started from a technologist until no lab director, so I basically know inside out of cellular therapy lab. My education is biomedicine, but I like a computer and the setup goal to use this setup database for my work. So this is like a task-driven learning by myself from Google, from books, learned Excel VBA. So the goal of this series videos is to try to share the skills I applied with for this work, how to make a workplace automation to improve efficiency. Why it set it for fact accredited lab? Because many laboratories provide service to cellular therapy is hospital based on the clinical lab. Also, majority of them are fact accredited lab. So there are some quality control and standard to follow. Uh, I work in several laboratories with fact accreditation and also has years of experience being a fact processing facility inspector, so I can understand the fact regulations. For cellular therapy lab, it's a very specific field. It has a long history started with bone marrow transplant, but also very variables among laboratory procedures. So it's hard to standardize the procedure. So this will make the uh, support from IT will be very hard to get. Also, because this healthcare industry, so it's strictly regulated. You have to meet some criteria. Also, maybe also involve the FDA regulation if you working in CGMP environment. With 20 years experience, I know many labs still using paper record. This really bother me, and I have successfully developed two electronic record systems for two labs. One is the hospital lab, just use Excel VBA and Access software database. Another one is go further for CGMP facility because you may get audited by FDA, so need a stricter requirement for data security. So I use the SQL database. So the system actually is very simple. Just a common lab PC. The software as long as you have the Excel installed, and if you have the Access installed too. But for group use, this Access database file should be saved on the network drive so can be shared by the group. If you can get support from IT department, they can provide the SQL server to you. That will be the perfect setup. First thing, IT can control the access by domain authentication. That's release your work. Also, is much faster than network drive. I have set up the system used Microsoft SQL Server and work very well, much better than Access. I will show the system one by one. Thank you for watching. So the coming videos we will show what's my consideration for each workflow and how to protect the data security information. This the system I build, the goal is to improve efficiency, and also I will show all the VBA code for each function. So the name for this one will just like build a database with Excel VBA, etc. Will part 1, 2, 3, and will be continued. So if you want to search this search videos, you can use the keyword Excel, VBA, and Mac. Thank you for watching, and more video will come. Thank you.